Hey man, it's Phil X, and you're watching Guitar Tales with Dave Cohen. And Guitar Tales, Guitar Tales. Like, what else do you need, right? Guitar. We're geeks, nerds, gear, inspirations, positive vibes. Look out.
And welcome to another edition of Guitar Tales. This is going to be a great show tonight. And before we get to the show, I want to thank our newest sponsor, Confections of a Rock Star. Oh, we got music going on for that now. And I'll tell you what, Scott and I have been there many times, and Aaron and Scott and I should say, have been there. Fabulous food. They have doggy treats. They have people treats. Pictures of rock stars all over the building. It's a cool place to visit. The owners are wonderful people, and they are tight with a lot of your heroes. They are tight with a lot of famous rock stars and musicians. Tonight, now let me segue. Tonight we have, and Scott will correct me, we might have the youngest guest we've ever had on Guitar Tales. I've watched a lot of his videos on YouTube. This guy is a fabulous musician. Dallas Russo, why don't you guys come join us from the green room, our virtual green room?
I will enter first. And I'm going to put you over there because I like being on this side. I don't know why.
It's my good side.
Good side. Good evening, sir. It's a late night for us and a late night for Dallas too. We usually do our shows around 7, and now it's 9 o'clock, and we're weary.
I'm tired, and I'm not drinking alcohol tonight. I'm drinking seltzer.
This is an alcohol-free.
It is. I'm drinking seltzer tonight.
No cursing.
No, we can't do any cursing because Dallas has never heard a bad word.
I will bleep you out.
That's right. So, Scott, how did we line Dallas up? Because I watched a bunch of his videos, and he's better than me, that's for sure. But
well, interestingly enough, I had found him on my own, as I do, looking around and surfing and finding different guys and gals that I like and I think be interesting guests on the show.
Right.
And then somewhere along the line, my dad was nudging me about, hey, did you ever reach out to my friend whose kid plays guitar and he's like a virtuoso and he's only like 13 or 14 years old? I'm like, yeah, give me his number and I'll put on my list of things to do. And I sort of put it on the back burner. And then I go reach out to Dallas and voila, it's the same guy.
Oh, I got it. That is great.
It kind of like went backwards. I didn't use my dad to get this guest. I was an afterthought.
Yeah.
We found out that his dad and my dad know each other and they're Dallas Cowboy fans, and that's why Dallas's name is Dallas. I don't want to give away too much. Should we bring him on?
Let's bring him on.
Here he is. Dallas, welcome to the show.
Hi, everyone. I really appreciate being on the show today.
We're happy to have you. Yeah. I watched a bunch of your videos online, and you play with the maturity of a much older guitar player and the confidence of a much older guitar player.
That's the thing that got me, the confidence.
Yeah.
He's playing songs that we grew up with, which first of all is amazing.
Yeah.
Don't Tell Me You Love Me, one of my favorite songs of all time. The great Brad Gillis and Night Ranger. And that's one of the things I want to talk about tonight. I learned that song trying to listen to the record, that beginning lick.
Yeah.
And I'd be curious to know how he learned it, because we had to go. We had a whole show about this. How learning songs on YouTube is a different way to learn now compared to the old days when you didn't really have a lot of video around, and you had to learn by playing cassettes and records and shit. Like, see again, I already cursed. Yeah, I can't help myself.
Yeah. So I learned the song by ear, actually.
Did you?
Look at that! I love that.
I just put it on YouTube and just found the notes.
Oh, so you're not watching a tutorial. You're watching the...
I can't learn by the tutorials. I don't know why.
I think that's great.
That's I think there's a healthier way to learn, honestly.
Yeah.
I really do.
Now let me ask you this. So you watch the original, you learn how to play it, And if you talk to your friends or just other people who might play the song, do you find that you're approaching the song maybe a little differently than they are if they're watching like a Marty Schwartz or someone like that and getting the tutorial?
Yeah. Well, if they're watching a tutorial, usually like when I play, I'm not note for note on everything,
Right.
but like I find my way through it, and most of the time it's like pretty accurate.
Because I'm in a cover band, and when I learn songs for the band, unless the solo's really iconic,
Mhm.
I'll
Yeah,
kind of just put my own spin on it. And
Yeah.
even if I am doing an iconic solo, I'll still put my own spin on it. We were just talking before the show, that little Satriani trick where he takes the side of the pick and he kind of, I use that for like Crazy Train. Obviously Randy didn't play it like that, but it's easier for me. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I do the same.
I'm glad you have your Van Halen guitar because I brought mine out tonight.
Yeah, that's very cool. So how do you do it? So, all right. So first of all, you're a 14-year-old kid, right?
Yep.
So I think Scott, am I right? He's our youngest guest ever.
Yes. The record before him was currently held by Sierra Levesque of Canada, who was 16 when she was on the show, and now she's 18.
Yeah, so you are our official youngest guest ever. So were you guided by a teacher to say, "Hey, do it on your own"? Or okay,
Yeah,
I
so,
love that attitude. Yeah, let's hear.
Well, I actually like picked up the guitar when I was like very little, like 2. It was like my parents have photos of me when I was like 2, just like strumming. But
I have
I
pictures of me at 2 years old. I was definitely not holding guitar. I was holding a rattle, which is a percussion instrument. But go ahead.
My brother took guitar lessons, and I played his guitars when I was really little. But when I was 6, I went to this little place near my house, and I took lessons for like 4 years up till COVID.
Oh, wow.
And then the guy that like taught me lessons like ghosted us
Oh, really?
when COVID came. Yeah, so we went to this other guy. His name's Alan Gawa, and
Okay.
yeah, he's like taught me a lot of my stuff I know right now.
That's awesome.
That
awesome.
is.
So you gravitated towards electric guitar, obviously. Did you
Yeah.
start off on acoustic? Because this is one thing I always say to parents when they're buying guitars, and we covered this on a show a while back, that I think it's better to start off a young student on an electric guitar than an acoustic guitar. It's just easier to play.
Yeah,
Plus,
I started.
distortion. It's like you can make music with 2 notes,
Yeah.
and you got a power chord going, and then you're off to the races. Because that's very discouraging having to learn all those chords, at first.
Yeah, you got to press down harder and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And you got the nice close action on electric. You're good to go. It's not that hard. You still beat up on your fingers, but it's a lot of fun. And then you discover the pedals and all that stuff. So when'd you get your first serious guitar? Like, whoa, thank you for Christmas or whatever.
My first guitar, I actually have it here.
Yeah, show us.
I love
So
this kind of
my
stuff.
first guitar was a.
The guitar's like 1 year old.
I got this when I was like 6, I think.
What is it? A Squire?
Squire Mid.
Yeah,
Oh,
all right.
That's a nice looking
How
Squire.
many kids started on Squires?
I know.
70th anniversary of Fender celebrating this week, by the way.
Yeah.
All the great players that played Strats.
Yeah,
So you're more of a Strat guy than a Les Paul guy, or you kind of go back and forth?
Nowadays, so after this one, I had like a little Jackson Flying V.
Oh, show us. Yeah.
I don't have it with me right now.
Oh, that's fine. Okay.
It's like it's the same color as this. It's just
Right.
Flying V, like the Randy Rhoads style.
Yeah.
Right.
And then after that, I started getting the Les Paul we got over here.
Right. I love the Kramer you play too. That's kind of cool that you got a Kramer.
Yeah. The blue
You got it.
Kramer favorite.
Yeah, that's an awesome rig. Now, is that a newer Kramer or is it an older one?
The blue
Older,
one,
I mean older, like from the 80s or like a vintage Kramer.
no. Those are like the new models.
The newer Kramers, okay.
Yeah.
And then you had a Snake Sabo Kramer too, I think. Is that what that is? Yeah. Cool. Another New Jersey rocker.
That's right. Any other brand? What else do you like? I see you have the 5150 amp, which is great behind you.
Yeah. Kramer and EVH are like my 2 big ones I use the most.
Great. So you dig the whammy bar stuff?
Yeah, I used to all my old guitars like before a few years ago were all hardtail, like
Right.
with less mechanical stuff. And then the first one I got was I had a Steve I Gem,
Yeah.
Okay.
and since that one, every guitar I've gotten just has like whammy bars.
A funny gem story. I had a gem and I sold it immediately. I took it to a gig and realized, oh my God, I didn't curse. Oh my God, I don't know where the frets are because it's got this like tree inlay thing on it, and
Yeah.
I found in the dark stage I'm trying to look on the top of the frets to see the little dot because I play by ear and sight and I'm a mess, and I was lost. I was like I can't play this guitar, and I put it on the stand and I went to my secondary. I was lost in the dark with that what they call a tree inlay of life or whatever the hell it is.
Right.
Yeah, couldn't find my way through the frets on that thing.
Mhm.
My first show I played with my band I'm in now. The first solo I ever had it was like a few September. The first solo I went to do like a dive on the start and the string broke. First solo,
no.
and it was floating, so everything went out of tune.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just had to find my way through.
That's
It was
my
like,
yeah, that happens every once in a while. I
Yeah.
actually my Sambora Strat has got the Floyd on it, but it doesn't float. So if you break a string, you're not.
It's gonna be it's fixed.
But
Yeah.
I've always bring at least 2 guitars with me. Most of my guitars are
yeah, I
for
broke
show and not for playing. They light up and stuff.
So what do you do with did you have a spare guitar with you for that gig?
Yeah, I brought 2 or 3. So I
Alright.
switched to it after the song, and then on the
Alright.
side I'd change the
So
string.
you're cool under pressure. This is all the kind of stuff you gotta find out when you're gigging. When you're in a home in your bedroom or your basement playing wailing away, right, Dave? It's a
Yeah.
totally
it's
different thing. I had a situation went last night with my band with this pedal board I've been using. I had it set up beautifully at home. I worked on it with earphones. I brought it to a live band setting, and it was terrible.
Yeah.
At loud vibes, it was just awful. So now I have to rework the whole thing, probably without earphones on, and work on all the patches and everything.
So let's hear about. So tell us about your band that you're in right now.
All right, so right now I'm in a band. It's called Kobi Reese, which is the singer's name. We've played a lot of shows right now.
You guys are busy.
Like 3 shows in the last 3 weeks. Every week we have a show.
Oh, that's great.
Our next show is April 14th at the Landis Theater. And then
Very cool.
And where folks go to get all these dates on pretty much on Facebook? Just look up Kobi Reese or I know I have DallasRusso.com.
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram are the big 2.
Okay, cool. If it's working today, Facebook and Instagram broke.
That's right.
Did you think you got hacked, or you weren't online at that point?
I never got hacked.
No, he's too cool to be on Facebook or Instagram. He's a kid. He's cooler than we are.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, because I posted a lot of stuff for this show, all of a sudden I got kicked off of Facebook. I didn't know what the hell was going on.
So
right now,
I thought it was the end of the world.
So tell us talk to us about your gigs and where you're playing. We're interested.
Right now, we're recording 2 songs with Steve Brown.
Yes, Steve.
Yeah,
Another New Jersey guy.
Gotta go to a studio. We gotta go back to a studio next week to get the solos, leads, and harmonies.
Oh.
But right now we have all the bass of the song, like the rhythm. And
so who's working on the songs? Just you and Kobi, or the whole band?
yeah, right now I play guitar and bass for it.
Okay.
He does singing and drums.
Right, he's a multi-talented kid. So he plays the drums and sing. Oh man, that's great. So you got the whole band with 2 guys. How easy is that?
That is great.
As long as you're getting along, you can keep writing songs.
And then Steve Brown is producing you, right?
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
And then Steve worked on Ace Frehley's record. We just had Ace on a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And the record's doing fantastic.
Yeah, he's
so you're in good hands with those guys.
You really are. And so how do you feel as a 14-year-old kid who's getting recognized by someone at the level of a Steve Brown? Like, that's a big deal, right?
It is, yeah.
You're going to have 40, 50-year-old or 60-year-old musicians who would be thrilled to work with Steve Brown. And here you are. Did he find you or did you find him?
So Kobi recorded a song with him last year, like last spring.
Okay.
It's called Sometimes When.
Okay.
But that one was produced by Steve Brown. And then I believe the other one, the next one that was released, he didn't record it with him, but Steve Brown like mixed it and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so we already had his contact.
Now, who wrote the songs that you're recording now?
So one of the songs, I made all the music,
Wow.
and Kobi made all the lyrics. And then the other song, Kobi already had like the bass notes, but it was like a slower song.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not like the song when he showed it to me. I brought it home and I upped the tempo a little bit, changed it around a little bit.
That's beautiful. That's what you do.
I came back to rehearsal the next week, and that became it.
I forget what Beatles song was like an up tempo kind of like, I don't know, and it turned out to be like, here come on flat top. You know, they slowed the whole thing down and took that goofy 1-2 punch that John Lennon originally wrote the song, and then changed the whole song, and we had a automatic Beatles classic.
John came in. Here come on flat top, he got grooving up so easy, got juju, what he want, holy moly. I'm saying, wait a minute. That's Chuck Berry's song. This is Chuck Berry's song, which is called You Can't Catch Me, which not only is like that. Hey, come on, the opening line is, here come all flat top.
Here come on flat top. You Chuck Berry song.
It actually is the Chuck Berry song. So I said, oh, man. I said, look, it's a great song. I love it. I said, but we got to do something to get away from that. So I just suggested we slowed it down. So instead of we go.
So I think we have the
Come together. I couldn't think of it.
We have a John Lennon on our show then.
Yeah. Right.
So you're recording that, and then you guys are going to start supporting it by playing out, right? You're going to get gigs. You'll start playing the live versions of those. So what kind of crowd do you get? Are you getting all kids your age? You getting adults? A mix?
Sometimes it's a mix, but mostly it's adults.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of their set list, like I said, is stuff that we.
It's classic rock.
With, yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're probably gonna start mixing in your originals at some point if you're not doing it already.
Once we get them done, we're gonna start adding them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then once the record's out, people will be familiar with it, and you're off to the races.
Yeah, we're already working on an album. We have like half the album done.
That's amazing.
That really is. And what about supporting it with videos? Are you shooting any videos for them?
Yeah, we are.
I mean, I've seen a lot of your live stuff. So you're doing like sort of storyline videos, or you do performance videos?
We haven't actually recorded it. We just have the what it's going to be.
I had a question. It fell out of my brain. See what happens when you have an interview with old guys.
Yeah. Well, I'll get one for you. So how are you managing school? This is a question we never have to ask on this show because everyone's old. So how do you find the time balance between school and your musical career?
It's very hard.
Yeah, I bet it is. Now, do you play sports also? Or is there just no time for that?
Football, we have practice Mondays and Thursdays 6 to 9, but usually I stay like 11 just to work on originals and stuff.
Right.
And, I have to do like all my homework before I go because I get out at 2:50. Then I have to leave at 5. So I have that time frame to do my work, and then
That's a lot. Yeah.
This is the question I remembered. See, I'm not that far gone. When you write your music, do you actually write music? Can you read music? I can't read.
I can't read, no.
You can't read either.
See,
another one for the can't read guys. It's kind of I tell you, it's a blessing and a curse.
We just record it on voice memos.
It's tough sometimes. But I used to have my college roommate score my music for me because in music class in college I had to score a movie. I don't know why I took that class, but
Hmm.
I played the whole thing on piano, and then I can't believe you wrote this. I'm like, I didn't write it. You're writing it. I came up with it. Just put it on paper so I could pass this class.
Yeah. So you have a natural feel. So are you writing anything down, or you could just sort of feel it?
Yeah, I don't write it at all.
Mm.
We just record it, and then I just gotta find. If I forget it, I just gotta relearn it.
Just get the ideas, and well, Paul McCartney's a self-taught guy, and he would wake
Yeah.
up in the middle of the night. I got an idea for a song, and
Right.
that's record it. Like a guy that can write would just write it down, the note,
Yeah.
and then you and I would have to get up and actually pick up a guitar and plug it into something and record somehow.
Yeah, and Scott and I were talking about this, and this is refreshing to hear a young kid like you, because one of our concerns for the younger musicians is that there's some shortcuts available, right? You could just hop on YouTube, any song you're interested in, there's 200 tutorials,
But if
And
he's got a good ear, he could
yeah,
pick out the good teachers, the guys. You listen, and go, oh, that guy's got, I don't know.
But-
Don't tell me you love me, right? And that guy's way, way wrong.
right. But you're not even listening to them. You're just listening to the original song and figuring it out, right?
Yeah, I'm just listening to the original song.
So you're not using any of the tutorials. And I think, this is my bias. I think that makes you a better musician, or at least helps you in your journey a little more, as opposed to somebody telling you exactly how to do it.
Yeah, we talked about it. I think it helps your ear more. You got a better ear for music and keys, and you could tell when something's chunking and chugging along that. Oh, that's probably a drop C or a drop D or something. Then you could start messing around with that, with tunings and everything. But I mean, that's how I go about it. Because if it's a weird tuning, I'm completely lost. I have to cheat and look at YouTube. I'm not going to lie.
Usually I just Google it, like which videos are.
Yeah, see what the tuning is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. Right. But then when you figure out, or when you learn what the tuning is, you're still not even going to anything other than right here in your ear, right?
Correct.
That's pretty cool. And when you do the songs, do you feel like you're making them a little more your own because you're doing it Dallas style, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, because you don't know exactly. I mean, you probably have songs where you're not even using the same tuning as them, because you're just figuring out your own way.
Yeah, the sets we do, we do like a lot of songs are half step down, but we just play it in standard.
Okay.
We do a few Motley Crue songs, which is like full step to
Full
D.
step down, yeah.
Right.
Sometimes like Smoking the Boys Room's easy. You can do that in standard, but the Home Sweet Home's a little bit harder. So I have a pedal where it just like switches the tuning.
Oh, that's
very
good.
handy.
Yeah.
I used to have an old Morpheus drop tune. I think it was a beast, but now they're smaller now, right? I think Digitech makes one. That's pedal board size. My thing was a monster. It was like the size of an old laptop.
Right.
But people still want that one. I mean, I don't know. It's in my studio. I'm probably going to sell that stupid thing.
Right.
I used it for a band I was in. It was they had a lot of key changes, and I'm like, I'm not going to bring 10 guitars to the gig, and I just get this pedal. It was fantastic.
Right.
It saved me a lot of trouble. But it only goes down. It does not go up. If you're going to go up, you got to put a capo on the guitar or something.
Right. So, what of your guitars? Speaking of guitars, what are your two favorites? We're looking at a really nice collection behind over your shoulder.
I love it. So my favorite one. This is my favorite one. This is my favorite Pitch 150.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I got this one for Christmas a few years ago. And ever since, this is definitely my favorite one.
And you'll find it's limiting with just the humbucker in there, and a lot of shredding. I mean, it's perfect for shredding, but you can't really get any other tones besides shredding out of that thing, I would think, because all this is a volume and a.
Yeah, that's it. But my other favorite, it's kind of switches through, but right now, it's probably my N2.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that one.
And And Nuno, you have a quote from Nuno about you on your website, which completely blew me away. Nuno's never said anything about me being a great guitar player. How the hell did you get him to say something?
This was actually
Oh, he
signed.
signed it. Where'd you get to meet him?
I met him a couple of times. I met him at the Starland Ballroom.
Okay.
And then I met him after the show. And then I had a VIP for at the Bergen Pack.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, he came down, and we weren't actually supposed to be there. Like usually they kick everyone out, but we just like sat there and waited. So he came down. We talked for a little bit, and then he just signed. There's a few other people waiting.
He's an incredible player. He's definitely
Yeah.
made his mark.
And that's amazing. As a 14-year-old kid, you've got a rock legend.
Stop saying kid, will you?
He's a kid. But you know what's interesting though, and I got to say this, you know, musically, I watched your videos, and you were carrying yourself with the confidence of someone much older, and you're being interviewed by two goofballs, and you're carrying yourself like an older person right now.
Who's playing bass in the band?
Right now it's a girl. Her name's
Yeah,
Celeste.
she's great. She sings too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
They got really good harmonies, Dave. You got to check it out.
Yeah. Now I was listening to some of the videos, and they're fantastic.
Harmonies are so important, I think.
Yeah.
I see a lot of bands and they just kind of have a half-ass harmony. Like you got good harmonies, that really sells the song.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to work on those harmonies either. It's hard. The music part is not as hard as the harmonies, you know, to be on pitch and all that. Dallas's website here, guys.
Yeah, let's take a look at that.
DallasRusso.com. You can go
Perfect.
there. There's little dates and whatnot where the band's playing. Bo loves that. Did you hear
Yeah. I'm getting ready for the mute. My dog barks in the show a lot.
that?
Yeah.
I think he's become the mascot of the show. I'm not worried
I
about
think
it.
so too.
Yeah.
Where else can we find you? So we've got, tell us, you know, how do we find you on Instagram, if you're on Facebook and all that?
Dallas Russo Guitar on Instagram, Facebook.
He's all over.
And those are like the two that I post on.
And nobody else has the name Dallas Russo, I'm pretty sure. So
That's a great name.
if you look that up.
Yeah.
We said in the beginning of the show, I have a hunch that you were named Dallas because you probably, I don't know if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan. I know your father is definitely a Dallas Cowboy fan.
Yep, we are.
Yeah, I think you'd be disowned if you weren't, right? If your dad named you after the team, that would be problematic.
I was going to be named Jet Angle, but didn't really go over well. And, you know,
Yeah.
my father's a Dallas Cowboy fan. My dad calls his dad after every Dallas Cowboys game. I found out.
Yeah, that is cool stuff.
And they commiserate or, you know, cheer.
Right.
For Jet fans, it's always commiseration. Always.
Yeah. Yeah. Since 1969 till now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really bad.
Yeah. So you got a great future in front of you. And, you know, absolutely. As our youngest guest ever. So before we start getting toward the wrap up part of the show, tell us, what are you interested in accomplishing over the next few years as a guitar player?
I want to release some music.
Right.
And the goal is that I want to do well.
That's a great goal. That's a really great goal. You just want to grow as a musician, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's fabulous.
We already have.
Do you find yourself gravitating towards any particular artist, or you kind of just soaking it all in and coming up with your own style?
My favorite ones are probably Van Halen, Kiss, Motley Crue, Dawkins, and
it's coming back. There's hope after all.
First Street.
That's amazing.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
You just named every band on my phone.
Right. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It really is. So, all right. So what we'll do in post, we're going to put up a bunch of little QRLs or QR codes, I should say.
Oh, there's one up on the corner there.
There we go. Right. Yeah. Right. Up in the left side right there.
And we'll drop in some pictures of Dallas in action.
That's right. Yeah.
And, the band in action.
And we commend all of our listeners to go look you up, because you really are doing amazing stuff. And Yeah, you're
Thank
welcome. We got you on because we're grabbing you now because we know you've got a pretty big future in front of you. So then we could say we had him on way
I'll
back
tell you
when.
what, that's what we do best. We always find we always discover online
Yeah.
artists that are up and coming, and I know we got a pretty good track record, man. Like
We do.
4 or 5 years down the pipe, and all of a sudden, look at Mariah Formica playing with Disturbed, and touring all over the world and everything. And
Yeah.
she just started off doing a Barracuda cover in her bedroom with her girlfriend playing drums during COVID, and
Yep.
it just took off. So
How was that, Scott?
took off.
Like 3 or 4 million hits, and she's off to the races.
For
And
real.
Scott found you, so we know you've got this amazing future in front of you, and we're thrilled that you were willing to join us tonight.
Wish you a lot of luck, and we'll probably you don't be surprised if you see my face in the crowd,
Yeah,
waving and throwing the horns.
that's right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you, my friend. So, Dave, our show, of course, we got to thank our listeners and viewers. The Ace interview hit over 15,000 views, which is a new record for us.
It is.
We picked
It
up
is.
a whole bunch of subscribers, and we're really thankful.
We
on
are.
Instagram and YouTube, and also our podcast audio. This show airs on all podcast audios, no matter where you listen, in your car, on your smartphone, on your smart speaker. Guitar Tales is there.
We are there. And on Facebook, we had one of our Guitar Tales posts at 1.4 million views. So we're sort of starting to get around there a little bit. So if you watch our show, if you like our show, even if you hate our show, just hit like or subscribe. It'll help us get the word out to you more. And on that note, we'll say thank you and good evening. And again, Dallas, thank you again for joining us. What a great time.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.